Alrighty folks, welcome back to Mildly Interesting. Maybe you'll be mildly interested to know that our sponsor is still the like button, conveniently located right down below the video. Feel free to click on through if you want. Let's start off with number 19, this deformed Corona Extra bottle from Mexico. You could say that that Corona Extra bottle is pretty extra. Looks like it was pulled straight out of a Dali painting or something like that. This orchid really looks like an eagle. Dude, it does. Man, there's this one spot in my house where for ages now I've wanted to get a little side table and just put some orchids on top of it. I'm turning into my grandma because my grandma loved orchids. That was like her flower. And maybe, I don't know, it rubbed off on me, but there's one spot I want orchids. This is cool. I think orchids are cool. My cactus just bloomed. I also love cacti and succulents. Why do you guys have cool houses with flowers? I want to get a cactus that blooms, except I would just get a fake cactus, because otherwise I wouldn't take care of it. There's no way a cactus in my house would end up blooming. It would just end up shriveling, because everything I touch unlives when it comes to plants. My kitchen floor has a built-in cooler. Wow, that is more than mildly interesting. I've never seen that before in person, on the subreddit, in pictures on the internet. I'm not gonna lie, it seems kind of unnecessary. I don't know, is it like right next to your refrigerator? Is that a dishwasher? That's probably a dishwasher, but your fridge is probably somewhere nearby. It's so much effort to bend over and pull a trap door off the floor. See, this would be useful in a place where your fridge isn't just like 2 feet away. It'd be like me, where the fridge is 2 floors up, and you just want an easy, convenient way to pull out a drink or something, and you have guests over, and they're like, oh God, we gotta walk up the stairs to go get a refreshment. You're like, no, we don't. Guess what? I've got a secret compartment in the floor. You never guessed that. And they'd be like, no, I really didn't. I guess that's interesting. Can I have water now? Thank you. Drank out of a solid ice mug today. I want to try this. See, this though, okay, it's cool and all, but it doesn't look like it's very cold there. Like, dude's in a t-shirt, which means that thing must be melting like crazy as you're holding it. It probably dilutes the beer less over time, but the whole thing is melting. Everyone thinks I'm crazy for saying that the best time, the best environment where I like eating ice cream is in the freezing cold. Screw a super hot day. I don't want it melting all over the place. When I can savor the ice cream because it's freezing out, oh man, there's nothing better than getting ice cream for dessert. This radio I found in my attic is built to resemble a Coca-Cola vending machine. I have to assume that, I don't know, this must have been like some kind of marketing product from Coke however long ago. What's the price here on the vending machine? Is that, I can't tell if that's like 88 cents or if it's 5 cents. Like, how cheap are we talking here? I need a date. I'd imagine 5-cent vending machines. The clouds reflected off this building look pixelated. They kind of do. Just because of the kind of the way the windows are. I guess because it's not a continuous piece of glass, and they're all like, maybe they're flat pieces going at different angles, so they're all reflecting a slightly different part of the sky, which would then end up giving the effect that it would look. Cardboard tents you can buy at the music festival I'm in. All right, well, is this where music festival accommodations have gone to? Is this Firefest 2.0, guys? Well, Firefest did the music industry a real big service. People, it just brought everyone's expectations so far down that you can now offer cardboard tents as a VIP luxury living location. How perfectly our cereal boxes fit in this shelf in our dorm. I also like how the way that this is laid out, because the Kellogg's logo goes from the front of the box and then continues over to the side. When you line it up this way, it fits perfectly, and it continues the Kellogg's logo as if you just kind of undid the box. No, this is not mildly interesting. This is oddly satisfying, other than the part where you have to go and get like a screwdriver to just leverage out one of the boxes in order to remove it. Like, all I want is some cereal. I didn't want for this to be a mathematical project. The town we vacationed in has red streetlights to not mess with the wildlife. Also, very eerie and post-apocalyptic. Oh my God, if I had no idea about this in advance, like if there was no tour guide to say, hey, by the way, don't be afraid. When it's really red at night, it's for the animals. I'd walk out and be like, is there an emergency going on? wake everyone up in the hotel. Like, I think something's wrong. Are we expecting like a tsunami? Is there like a tornado incoming? Is there a monsoon? What the hell is happening? I wasn't planning on this. This hidden sloth on my Brew Doctor kombucha. I was cuddling your thumb the whole time. I'm sure whoever put that in there is really happy that someone has finally noticed and put it on the internet. Not that you're the first to notice, but probably the first to post it on here and get some upvotes for it. How did they know? How did they know that that's the exact way you were going to grab the thing? That your thumb was going to land right on that. Is that a sloth? I'm assuming that's a sloth. E. coli that my coworker grew in a petri dish. Also very oddly satisfying and it looks pretty, but don't touch. Probably it's like poison dart frogs. They look pretty, but also don't touch because that will be bad for you. Why does it have nice design? Why does it look like a fancy plate at a Michelin-starred restaurant where the chef has like painstakingly placed these beads of caviar or something like that very intricately on the plate? I guess art imitates life. The billboard of national debt I pass every day. Is this supposed to be interesting or just mildly depressing? This is actually a topic that is of like, it's completely out of my knowledge. I don't actually know how it works when because most countries are in debt because you don't, I guess, necessarily want to have a surplus because then it means there is money unused that could be allocated to various programs. And so that's why it's common to run up some amount of debt. But where does that actually go? And how is it that everyone is in debt? Like, if everyone is in debt, how does that work? Who are we in debt to? The moon? This luggage store has an airplane setup for customers to test their carry-ons and underseater bags. That's actually very smart. The only problem is that as time goes by, everything is going to become smaller and smaller and smaller. I've definitely been on some planes where the underseat stowage, definitely not that large. It was definitely like half of that amount of vertical space, and then depending upon which seat you were in, the aisle seat had like a thing that came in and cut the horizontal space by like another 25%. So I have a normal sized backpack and I can't even fit the thing in there. And I'm like, really? So they just like the overhead space basically non-existent. Like you can fit a person there or something. And then the rest is like, they'll meet you at the gate and be like, yeah, sorry, you have to check this. Oh, what do you mean I have to check this now? It has a camera in it. I don't want it to break. You guys are just gonna play tackle football with my suitcase on its way into the plane. It has a camera in it. Please no, let me take it on myself, god dang it. My dad 3D printed a lever to replace his light switch. That is a very dramatic way to turn your lights on and off. I went into that house and I saw that there. Be like, does this like open a trap door somewhere? Can I pull this? It's just the lights. Be like, are you sure it's just the lights? It really looks like it goes to something important. And then I'd be very disappointed when all it did is control the lights. Be like, I really was expecting more. Left, a painting from 1892. Right, same spot 2020. It's pretty much the same. Look at that tree. Wow, what an absolute unit that tree is. I guess it had some more roots, a little bit more crisscrossing going on, but it's still out of the ground. For anyone who walked by that tree and is like, wow, development really ruined this tree. I bet it was once just, situated right in the ground there, completely covered on all sides, and then humans came and messed it all up, and then you show them the painting, and they're like, oh, that's wrong, I guess. My sneaker matches my gym's floor. What sneaker? All I see is a floor. My cat sitting on the back of my chair makes it look like she's wearing a leather jacket. Thought Bay and I were looking cute. Bay just got a new leather jacket. Posting might delete later. Her cat does not look into the photo at all. Not bad though. The hair looks like kind of the other part of the leather jacket. It's a good look. And the top, most mildly interesting thing for the last month, these public benches are reversible, so you can choose to look at people or boats. I feel like having a movable component like that is just, it's too much to offer a public space. Someone's gonna find a way to mess it up or just lodge something into the mechanism here so that it can't move anymore. or someone's gonna have a mishap where they expected it to be one way because they've sat in it that way before, and then they just lean back to take a seat, and then they fall backwards over the back of the chair, and then they sue the city because you should have told me that the chair did this. I had no idea that the bench back could be moved. I mean, they do look like they've been sat on a lot, so maybe they've lasted a long time. It's a good concept. Alternatively, you could just have benches that don't have a back, because does anyone really expect back support when they're sitting in public? Anyway, that's it for the last month of Mildly Interesting. Hopefully you've enjoyed. Make sure to like if you liked. Check out the playlist in the description if you want to catch more of these. Subscribe to the channel if you're not already, and I'll see you next time.